Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Patmos, and I'm in a different location than I was the last time I did a video, but there's an important thing that just happened today that I need to talk about. So, if you haven't heard the news, the CDC ACIP committee just moments ago voted 8-3 to change the recommendation that all babies be vaccinated against hepatitis B at birth. Since 1991 now, 3 decades, we've been vaccinating babies at birth against hepatitis V because we don't know for sure if the mother might be carrying it. Maternal fetal transmission of hepatitis B is a big problem. Used to infect about 20,000 children per year. For those of you who don't know hepatitis B, you have no business talking about it if you don't know this disease. Hepatitis B presents with acute hepatitis. That acute hepatitis can kill you. I have seen and managed patients who were perfectly healthy 1 week and dead a week later from acute hepatitis B. It can cause acute fulminant hepatic necrosis. Your liver basically just disintegrates and you die. And there is no treatment. For those who don't get acute hepatitis B or who recover from it, you can get chronic hepatitis B, which leads to cirrhosis of the liver and hepatocellular carcinoma. And hepatocellular carcinoma from hepatitis B, chronic infection, is one of the world's leading cancers. It's completely preventable by vaccination. And so that's what we've been doing. And this strategy has resulted in the reduction of hepatitis B in children from 20,000 cases a year down to 80 cases a year. It's been a massive and great success. So, why did the CDC ACIP committee vote today to unravel that? Because of two people who presented, and there was the whole committee who spoke on it, but there were two dominant presentations. The first one was by a guest invited to attend the meeting, which is Aaron Siri. Aaron Siri is not a doctor. He's a lawyer. He has a law firm. He has 100 lawyers working for him, suing everybody and anybody they can over vaccinations. He's making a lot of money. He's also Robert F. Kennedy's law partner. So you've got, so he kicked off the discussion. And then the real motivator in the discussion was Dr. Robert Malone, who brought up the issue that of the hypothetical risk of so many vaccinations in a short period of time, which in early in childhood, which contain adjuvants such as aluminum, and we can't rule out that this is a risk, even though there's no evidence to support that concern. It's a purely hypothetical concern with no evidence to support it. And so Malone, who's a doctor with 1 year of graduate medical education, 1 year of pathology internship, he's not a pediatrician, he's not an infectious disease doctor, he's not an expert in hepatology, he's never treated a patient with acute hepatitis B. Um, was the key voice in arguing for this change. And what's really interesting about it is you talk about a conflict of interest. Aaron Siri has got thousands of cases that his firm is litigating over vaccines. And guess who his expert witness is? He uses Robert Malone as an expert witness. Robert Malone's been making a lot of money as serving as an expert witness in all these anti-vax lawsuits. So that's who's now sitting on the ACIP committee and making these recommendations, the very people who stand to benefit financially from this decision. They can now use this as a way to argue that people have been harmed, children have been harmed by this vaccination, because it just gives them credibility and legitimacy in a court of law, which they really don't deserve. It's not just that it's an obvious, ridiculous conflict of interest. There's more to it than that. It's also unethical. First do no harm. We have proof, enormous proof of benefit from this strategy. We have no proof of harm. And yet we have decided to go with the hypothetical risk over the proven benefit. That's unethical. It's also incredibly bad clinical judgment. You don't withdraw a treatment or an intervention that has benefit when you don't know, when you're electing something that you have no idea if it has harm or benefit or not. So they've withdrawn a recommendation of proven value for a hypothetical risk with no evidence. That's just bad clinical judgment. All in all, this is just really bad all the way around. It's especially bad clinically. And I can't state this enough. You have no business in this discussion making these decisions if you don't have a sufficient clinical background. 1 year of pathology internship, no board certification, no board eligibility, and no experience managing these patients. You're just not qualified to opine on these matters. Anyhow, that's what they did today. This is so far gone. I don't think we can recover this country from a vaccination point of view. These people are in power now. They're just ramming through all this ridiculous stuff. It's going to take decades. We won't see this overcome in my lifetime. So we're going to. The United States is now clearly moving headlong into the Middle Ages, into third world status as a vaccination country. You're better off from a vaccine standpoint and an infectious disease standpoint. You're better off in almost any other country in the world than you are in the United States.